All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are jumping right into one of the biggest, oldest questions out there. We're going to unpack a huge, cosmic story, one about creation, about a rebellion, and about a rescue plan that, according to the sources, was put in place before time even started. So, let's get right to the core questions that drives this whole thing. Okay, so here's the big one, right? This is the paradox that really gets things going. If the one who made everything is completely good and can do anything, well, then where does all the bad stuff come from? The suffering, the cruelty, what's the deal?
And that, of course, leads to the next logical question. If evil wasn't part of the original blueprint, then who made it? Or what made it? Did it just pop into existence? Was it an accident? This is a really critical piece of the puzzle we're putting together today.
And finally, this is maybe the most mind-bending question of all. The idea of an all-powerful being, a perfect God, choosing to go through a death like that, it seems like it makes no sense. But as we're about to see, the sources frame this not as a tragedy, but as the story's most brilliant and unexpected plot twist. You know, the story starts right here. Before any of the conflict, before any of the questions about evil, the narrative gives us a baseline, a world that wasn't just good, but very good. This is the foundational statement that makes the problem of evil so problematic. So, how in the world does a problem pop up in a world that's very good? According to these texts, the conflict didn't come from a flaw in the system. It actually came from a powerful and, you could say, very risky gift that was placed right at the heart of creation.
And here's that gift: free will. The sources are super clear about this. The beings in this story, both the angels and the humans, they weren't built like robots. They weren't programmed to just follow orders. No, they were made for a relationship. And for any relationship to be real, you have to have the freedom to choose.
This chart really breaks down the choice that was made, doesn't it? The creator could have made a universe full of obedient robots that just do what they're told. But any love from them would just be code. It wouldn't be real. The sources argue that for love to mean anything, the choice has to be real. And that choice, and this is the key, had to include the real possibility of saying no. That was the risk baked into the system. So, you have this beautiful but kind of dangerous gift of freedom. The question is, how did it lead to everything going so wrong? Well, the texts suggest it became the very doorway that allowed evil to walk onto the cosmic stage. And this is so crucial to understand. The source material is adamant that God did not create evil. Instead, evil is shown as the consequence of free will being misused. It's a corruption of something good. And according to the story, this happened in two main steps. First, a rebellion up in the angelic realm, and then a disobedient choice down here on earth. And this quote, wow, it gets right to the heart of where the story's main villain comes from. He wasn't made as some kind of monster. The texts say he was actually one of the most stunning beings ever created, perfect, brilliant, who chose to turn against his creator because of pride. So in this view, evil wasn't his nature, it was his choice. Okay, so get ready for this because this is where the story takes a massive plot twist. All of this chaos, the rebellion, the fall, evil entering the world, none of it was a surprise, not even close. In fact, a plan to deal with it was already in place. Just look at this timeline. It completely flips the script. The sources suggest that because God knew what was going to happen, the solution wasn't a panicked reaction. The rescue plan, which climaxes at the cross, was thought of before the very good world was ever made. And verses like this one are presented as the proof of this incredible proactive strategy. The arrival of a savior wasn't plan B, it was always plan A, baked into the design from the very beginning, anticipating that free will would be misused and preparing a way to not just fix the problem, but to create something even better on the other side.
All right, now we get to the climax of this whole cosmic drama. This is the moment where everything gets turned upside down, where what looks like a total crushing defeat is actually the most brilliant victory imaginable.
This is like a cosmic chess match. From Satan's point of view, the cross is checkmate, game over. He won. It's the ultimate victory. But from God's perspective, it was the ultimate trap. The narrative suggests that by killing the author of life, the antagonist accidentally triggered the one event that would shatter his own power over death. It was a hidden checkmate. And the craziest part? The whole strategy was hidden in plain sight. This verse basically says that if the forces of evil, what the text calls the rulers of this age, had any clue what the crucifixion would actually do, they never would have gone through with it. They were completely outsmarted. So you might be thinking, what's the end game here? Why go through all this? Well, according to the sources, the ultimate goal wasn't just to rewind the clock back to the way things were. It was to elevate humanity to something totally new. And this verse, this is it. This is the whole point of the rescue plan. The result isn't just about being forgiven, it's about getting a new identity, a new family. Humanity is offered the right to become children of God. And here is the final, incredible twist. The very thing that the antagonist was fighting to prevent, humanity having this close, intimate family relationship with God, is the exact thing that the entire rescue plan achieves. This promotion of humanity to the status of children is presented as the ultimate, and for him, the most feared, outcome. So, when you pull back and look at the whole picture, the narrative isn't really a tragedy about how humanity fell. That's just one chapter. The real story is about a God so wise and powerful that he can take the most evil act in history and flip it, turning it into the very thing that brings about the greatest possible good. It's about cosmic-level redemption. So we'll leave you with this question to chew on. If the central claim of this whole story is true, that a sovereign God can take the absolute worst that evil can do and turn it into something even better than what was there before, what does that mean for us, for the brokenness and the struggles we see in our own lives? It's a pretty powerful thought to ponder. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.